What's going on? Germs here. I'm back with another review. I figured we'd do something real special today. We're going to open up a Meal Combat individual with cigarettes. So stick with me and we'll get this relic opened up. All right, so this is the Meal Combat individual, or MCI B2 unit, beans with meatballs and tomato sauce. Now, this is going to be kind of a special ration. There's 3 of the 4 cans that are in this ration that have date codes that appear to be from 1972. The other one has a date code that I can't read. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm going to assume it's from 1972 just because it's in with the others that are from 1972. The thing that makes this ration a little more unique is that it has an accessory packet with cigarettes, and the cans are from 1972. So it's really hard to determine when they actually took cigarettes out of these rations. A lot of what you read is in 1972, they took the cigarettes out of the accessory packets. So was it 1971, after 1971, that they took them out, and in 1972 immediately stopped putting cigarettes in? Or did they continue partway through the year with cigarettes in the accessory packet? Or did they go all the way through 1972 with the cigarettes in the accessory packets? It's really hard to find any information. I was watching Oldsmokey, his smoke show, one of his live streams from early in May, and he was specifically talking about how he has never seen even a can from 1972, or he may have seen a can, but he can't remember where and he can't find it. But it was really interesting that he is kind of on a quest to find any information on if there were cigarettes in any of the rations, either partway through 1972 or all the way through 1972. And I'm going to leave a card right here to that video, that live stream from May of 23, just so you can kind of check that out if you want to hear a little more history. But that's what makes this ration a little more special, is this could be one of the last MCIs produced in 1972 with cigarettes in the accessory packet. Now, the problem is I bought this on eBay, so I have no idea where it came from. I have no idea if it was pieced together. Well, actually, I think it was pieced together. At least one of the cans in here I don't think belongs, but it's still got the 1972 date code. But I can't confirm anything about this. So there's no definitive answer that this is actually from 1972 with cigarettes. So there's no way to 100% determine that. But it does have at least 3 of the cans definitively say 1972, at least from what I can tell. So it is a little bit more of a special ration. Now, they, as I mentioned, they took the cigarettes out of the MCI in either 1971 or 1972, but they kept putting cigarettes into the oddball rations up until 1975. That's when all of the rations in the U.S. military had cigarettes removed, was after 1975. And actually, Steve 1989 has a video from a food packet survival abandoned ship from October of 1975 that has packs of cigarettes in that. And I'm going to link that in a card right there, so you can take a look at that. So 1975 was the last year that any ration would have cigarettes. So let's open this up. Let's see what we got. We'll check some date codes, and then we'll start opening stuff up. All right. As you can see, something has leaked. So first thing we've got our accessory packet, and then we've got our jam peach. See, you can kind of see that there. You can kind of see the 7 and the 2. So I don't know if that's February of 1972, but that's clearly a 7 and that's clearly a 2. But what makes me think this was not supposed to be here is this is a B2 unit, and I think this should have been cheese. But who knows? It could be original. They might have just thrown this peach jam in there because they were out of cheese right at the moment they were making this. Who knows? We've got our MCI spoon, and here is our B2 unit, crackers and cocoa beverage powder. And as you can see, there is a 7 and a 2. There's 72, and then there's a 12. So that would lead me to believe it was December of 1972. And we've got a fruitcake. And again, hard to see, but that is a 7 and a 2, 72. It almost looks like maybe that's the 28th day of November, 1972. And then this, the main is stuck in the box. So I'm going to see if I can't get that broken free without destroying the box. Yeah, I mean, it's stuck right on there. All right, didn't mangle it too bad. Should be just fine for display. It's got a weird smell. It's not a bad smell though. It's kind of like, it's almost got like a bread smell to it. I don't know how to explain it. Old building bread kind of smell. And here's our beans with meatballs and tomato sauce. And as you can see, that date code, not really sure. I mean, looks like a 92 and a 19. I mean, this is definitely not from 1992. There's no doubt about that. There's nothing on the bottom that I can see. So I really don't know when this one was produced. But these other three are from 1972. All right, so that's what you get in the Meal Combat Individual, or MCI, B2 unit, beans with meatballs and tomato sauce. Let's slap this down and check out this relic. Perfect. All right, I think I'm going to open the main last. Let's open up the B2 unit first, since it's probably not going to be messy at all. I'm going to open it from the back. I heard a little bit. All right, since I opened it from the bottom, we've got our cocoa beverage powder first. Let's see if this survived, which I highly doubt. Wow, that actually seems to have held up. So cocoa beverage powder type 1, fortified, class 1. So we'll probably make this, but I highly doubt I'll be trying it. And then there's our crackers. They smell just fine, actually. They smell perfect. Let's get them out. Got that nice corrugated paper in there to protect them. So you can see the salt on there. Nice golden brown. They look perfect. And they actually smell perfect. Well, I shouldn't say perfect. They're from 1972. But they don't smell bad whatsoever. So I don't see any mold. All I see is salt. So being a cracker, I think I'm actually going to give this a shot. This does not mean you should. I definitely am not just going to take a bite and swallow it. I'm going to take a little tiny nibble and see what happens. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. It's still nice and crisp. It's not, I mean, it's very crisp, very fresh still. Tastes like a saltine. So those survived well. They're definitely not rancid. Being a cracker, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, it tastes just like a saltine. Not going to eat the rest of them, but I will say that's a better cracker than some of the newer rations that have the crackers with no salt. These are much better. You get 4 of them, and like I said, I think that you should have normally gotten cheese spread. That definitely could have been just a missing piece. I find it odd though that it's got a 1972 date code on it, and the others do too. That whoever pieced this together had an extra 1972 can like this to throw in. Now, as for this cocoa beverage powder, I'm just going to open it, but there's no way I'm going to drink it. It's actually got milk in it, so I don't really trust this. So I'm not gonna drink it. I don't even think I'm going to make it, but I am going to open it up and just look to see what the powder looks like and smells like. And it looks perfect. It's not clumped. Looks just fine. It does not smell fine. Those milk solids have gone rancid. There's no doubt in my mind. So we're just going to set this off to the side. Definitely not making it. No sense in making it. And then Next, let's open our jam peach. Didn't hear any air come out of that, and I highly doubt this is going to be even remotely edible. And there it is. It's just a puck of, looks like rubber. Not much of a smell to it though. Got a little bit of a rotten smell, but I mean, that's to be expected with this old jam. All right, next let's check out the fruitcake. Open it from the bottom. I couldn't open this from the bottom. There's no way for this to, so whatever. So I'm gonna open this from the bottom. Didn't hear any vacuum there. There's the bottom. Smells fermented. Let's get it out. Let's try using our spoon to get that out. Yep, it's all crumbled. Yeah, very fermented smelling. Obviously, didn't make it. I mean, it's still cake-like a little bit, but all that fruit that's in there and that fruit cake is just rancid. It just smells, it smells so fermented. But I'm sure back in the day, that would have been pretty good. I feel like that might be something that a soldier would be okay with getting. Maybe not. Some people don't like fruitcake. Some people do. But they would pack a lot of calories in there, a lot of good nutrition with all the fruit. And, I would think that would have been a good one. All right, so I'm going to get this cleaned up so we can open this. All right, so I had to chip off this probably sugar from the beans, the tomato sauce, that had leaked out and formed like a glass on the bottom that cardboard stuck to, because I want to open this from the back so I can save the can. Oh, there was definitely something there. Definitely not a master at the P38. Not something I use every day. Ew. Well, at least it still looks like something. There's your beans. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, it smells like, it actually smells like rotting fish. That's what it smells like. Ugh, it's awful. I don't even know if I want to put this on the tray. But, the hell. You can wash the tray in the dishwasher this time for sure. Whew. Wow, that's nasty. It smells like rotting fish and metal. That's what that smells like. Ugh, it's so nasty. It's so disgusting. But I'm kind of surprised it's not like a fossil. At least it looks like something, but it sure smells awful. Wow, you can even still cut the meatballs. Yeah, kind of interesting that it still at least looks like something, and it's not hard as a rock. So I'm almost wondering if, get some of these beans out. I'm almost wondering if there wasn't a hole in that, because I did hear air release from that can when I opened it. So I almost wonder, I mean, the stuff on the outside of that can looks more like this. So I'm wondering if this actually had a hole in it and leaked. Kind of looks like it might have. So I feel like if this can had a hole in it, then this would look more like that instead of actually looking like something. But it smells horrid. It is awful. All right, so I'm going to get this out of here because it's stinking up my life. So then I can open up this accessory packet. So I'll be right back. All right, now the part I'm most excited about. Let's open this accessory packet. I have had MCIs that had smokes, but it was before I was posting videos. I got some Newports back here out of a MCI, and I got these Marlboros out of an MCI, and they were absolutely amazing to smoke. And I'm not a smoker, former smoker. Occasionally, if you put one in front of me, I might smoke it. All right, let's see what we get. I want to save this packet. And we're gonna take a big whiff of this. It smells really good. Right away, we've got our spearmint chiclets, and it's a little bit different than the chiclets I got. I think these are older. These ones back here, I think those are from the 60s. I wonder if there's any date codes on any of this stuff in this accessory packet. Probably not, but we might be able to glean a little info off of something in here, whether it's 72 or earlier. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, Oldsmokey. Oldsmokey. I should save a couple for you and send this to you, because I know how much you love these Pall Malls. Got some matches. Got some bung fluff. I don't think I've ever seen this brand of bung fluff. Wexler Paper Products, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Interesting. Coffee Instant Type 2. I was hoping for Type 1. I think Type 2 is a little bit more bitter, more acidic. Cream Substitute Dry, which is definitely hardened up. Interdental Stimulator, made in Detroit, Michigan. 4 grams of salt. And our sugar, 6 grams. Very, very cool. Very cool. I am really excited for these. Like I said, I was going to look for some date codes or anything on these, but I don't think there's going to be. Nope, nothing. So definitely not going to be able to tell if that's from 72 or not. But what a score. I almost kind of don't want to open those, but I really want to smoke one. And smelling these accessory packets, it's just, there's just such a different smell. It's an old smell, and the first thing you pick up is the smell of the gum. It's a sweeter smell, but then you also get some tobacco smell, and then like really old industrial building kind of smell from back in the 80s or 70s. You know, a building that was maybe built in the early 1900s. You can't get that smell out of anything else that I can think of except these old rations. All right, so do we make this coffee? I think I want to make it, but I don't know. I think this is going to be pretty much caked up. So let's at least see what it looks like. I'm not going to save it because I've got a bunch of these. Let's see if it made it. Yeah. Yep, that's no good. If you look in there, there's, apparently it's not mold, but sure looks like mold to me. Looks like something was growing in there, but whatever. I'm not drinking it. It doesn't smell good either, so I'm definitely not going to drink it. But what we're going to do, we are going to smoke one of these. I really, really am excited to try one of these. I've heard these Pall Malls are really good. I don't know if the ones from the 70s are good. Probably the unfiltered from the early 60s or mid 60s are probably better. But I at least want to try these out. I'm gonna move outside, and then we'll open them up out there. I want to give them a good smell, but all I can smell in here is that meatballs and beans. So I'm smelling dead fish and tin, even though I got rid of it real quick and it's outside. I still smell it. So I want to move outside, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're moved outside, and I'm really, really excited. As you can see, I got a fire going, so kind of a nice night in northern Michigan. Very, very unusually warm for northern Michigan. Let's open up these Pall Malls. Pack is in really, really good condition. Let's see if I can get this to work without destroying it. The cellophane's a little brittle. There she is. Let's see what they look like. Let's give them a smell. Oh, they smell really, really good. Smells like really good tobacco. And just like everything in that accessory packet, it's got a hint of spearmint gum. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I don't want to destroy it. And look at that. Look at that. Now let's give them a smell. Oh, those smell so good. And these are going to be no filter, which is really, really cool. Look at that. I'm really excited for that. Beautiful. Oh, they smell fantastic. I probably should have packed them. They almost look like they've been packed. Let's give it a shot. On that dry pull, you can really get that nice tobacco flavor, that quality tobacco flavor coming up through your nose. Not too strong, and I've had non-filtered cigarettes before, and I don't think they're really any stronger. I think they're better. I am a cigar smoker, so I prefer that, just the straight up tobacco. These are fantastic. On that retrohale, you really get that flavor of that tobacco coming up through your nose, and then as you exhale, you can really pick up that quality tobacco. This is actually probably one of the best cigarettes I've ever smoked. Wow, that is incredibly smooth, not harsh at all for being non-filtered. I think the filter just ruins a cigarette. That's where all the chemicals are. And I'm sure the tobacco back in the day was much better, and they probably used way less pesticides and herbicides, and it's probably just more quality tobacco. I'm amazed. This is an extremely quality cigarette. Very, very smooth. I almost think now that we've opened this accessory packet, I feel like this is not a 1972 because of the unfiltered cigarettes. I don't know if they're still putting unfiltered cigarettes in accessory packets by the early 70s. I really don't know. So this could be an earlier accessory packet that was thrown in that MCI. An excellent, excellent cigarette, though. If it is an earlier one, I'm glad I got it because I've been wanting some Pall Malls, and I just struck gold. I've gotten lucky. I got those Newports, and those aren't nearly as common. And then now I've gotten the Pall Malls, and I don't think those were as common as like the Marlboros or the Winstons. Yeah, and back in the day, I mean, everybody smoked. It was just something most everybody did, and they did it anywhere. I remember even as a kid going to the grocery store, my mom would take an ashtray with her to set in the cart so she could smoke while she was shopping. Go to the doctor's office, they were smoking in the waiting room. So, back then they needed to put cigarettes in these rations, especially in the days when they were drafting soldiers, and people were used to smoking. You couldn't just take them and throw them into the military and expect them to not smoke. It would be very difficult for anybody who was a smoker, a habitual smoker, and back then probably smoking a pack or two a day, to go and just not smoke. Yeah, this is incredible. It's kind of a slow burn. It doesn't seem like it was very dry. I expected it to burn a lot faster than it is. It's actually lasting quite a while. Would have been nice to have some of that coffee instant with this, but I'm just enjoying this. This is such a treat. Especially, like I said, I'm not a smoker. I smoke cigars. I like a good cigar, but I quit smoking years ago. On occasion, like I said, I'll have one here and there, but uh, this is a treat. Now, I'm not saying that you should just pick up smoking by any means, uh, but there's no harm in having one every once in a great while. I'm not concerned about it. Definitely better than the Marlboros that I had and the Newports. Those Newports were really good for a menthol. I'm not a big menthol fan, but I feel like the menthol flavor was different back then. It was a lot more mild and not as chemically flavored. It was more of a natural menthol flavor. And I'm definitely starting to feel it. Definitely feeling the buzz from this. But like I said, it's not harsh at all for being non-filtered. It's very smooth, and the flavor is just fantastic. The quality of this tobacco is phenomenal. And I'm going to savor this right to the last bit, right to the knuckles. One last hit. Well, that was an experience. I'll meet you back inside. All right, what an experience getting to try out one of these old non-filtered Pall Malls. This was amazing. When I used to smoke, it was Marlboro Lights. I've actually never had a cigarette that tastes as good as that cigarette right there did. That was really good. Definitely going to save the other three. I don't know if I'll smoke them or what, but it's just something so special. I'll probably try to seal them up again. Maybe put them in the vacuum sealer and pack them so they stay good. Maybe throw them in my humidor. But man, what a treat. After that smoke, I'm going to try out these chiclets. I'll save that little box for display. There you go. Yeah, those are a great flavor. Definitely nice to kind of cleanse your palate after having a cigarette. Would definitely help get the meatballs and beans that were stuck in your teeth out, along with this interdental stimulator. I'm going to actually open this up. I have another one. So let's see what this is all about. Basically, little toothpicks. It's really all they are, little wooden toothpicks to go with your gum. Clean your teeth. All right, well, there you have it. I've been holding on to this ration for a long time, kind of waiting for some time special. And today I just thought it was a special occasion, so I decided to break it out, do a review. I'm really glad I did. This was a really cool experience, even though we couldn't really try anything. Well, I did try the crackers, and they were good. They were fine. But obviously the rest of it, there's no way we could try it, which is pretty typical for any of these MCIs. I mean, so far, I haven't come across an MCI that is edible, really. I know that some of the other reviewers have lucked into some that they could actually eat. Like, even if the beans and meatballs smelled okay or looked okay or weren't compromised or whatever, I probably would not have tried them. I just don't really trust the cans. Cans get compromised, it seems like, a lot easier. They rust, they get pinholes from the rust, and it's just too hard to tell if a can has been compromised. So that's something I'm not going to mess with. It's just not worth it. You know, the retort pouches and the MREs, those are a little different. They don't corrode, they don't rust. They can delaminate and they can be compromised, but when they're not, you can tell. And the food that's in those retort pouches from the MREs are a lot more likely to survive a longer period of time than anything that was in any of these cans. Unless these cans were stored at the perfect conditions for years, they're just not going to make it. So if you're still here, I really appreciate you being here. I truly appreciate it if you're watching. I really appreciate the support I get from my subscribers and the community. And if you're not subscribed and you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And make sure you click that notification bell so you're notified when I post new content. And if you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And I will be back soon with another ration review. Later. All right, so I had to well, at least, all right, now for definitely something good for after. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you're not subscribed,